Hello, I'm Paul Zaychuk, founder of Elastic Steel, method of athletic conditioning, easy flexibility, and ZJAX. Today I'm going to answer several questions that keep coming up about the quadriceps stretching, knee position, movement of the rectus femoris over the knee and hip, and best way to stretch it, fatigue of the muscle, and stuff like that. Question number one, do we need to stretch the three short heads, right? So we have three short head, we have a long head, rectus femoris, we have vastus lateralis, medialis, intermedius. Do we need to stretch those three? Lateralis, medialis, intermedius. Well, you see how I'm sitting right now? I'm sitting with my heels, which means that these muscles are as stretched as possible, and I don't feel anything. Most people are not going to feel anything sitting in this position, which means that the three short heads, you don't really need to stretch. However, the long head, rectus femoris, most people cannot put it into full stretch without feeling the resistance. As a matter of fact, most people go a little bit over the normal position and they already feel the stretch. So the three short heads, most people do not need to stretch. Some people do, but most people, especially athletic people, this is natural. Question number two, does stretching rectus femoris do anything for the short heads, three short heads? Well, stretching rectus femoris does not really stretch those muscles. Remember, rectus femoris goes over the hip. These guys only move over the knee, and rectus femoris, knee and hip. So while stretching rectus femoris doesn't really stretch these muscles, remember it's an overlaying muscle. So if you stretch rectus femoris, you're going to squeeze the muscles on the knees. So if they're sore, or you want to drive lactic acid, or at the end of the workout you want to relax them, you can still stretch the rectus femoris and you'll still feel these muscles on the knees. You're not adding to their flexibility, but you are compressing them and you're driving stuff out of them. Question three, and this is a related question. The question is, when you do hip flexor stretches, should you flex your knee? Okay, so in other words, you're here, you're in this position, you're stretching your hip flexors. Should you flex that knee? Should you not flex that knee? Well, if you're stretching your rectus femoris, you should flex that knee, of course, because the muscle goes over the knee and over the hip. You just try to stretch it over the hip, you're not going to get it. You have to flex the knee. But remember, there are other 5 more hip flexors, 6 together, and then there's 4 adductors. So if you're going to flex the knee all the way, and that muscle works over both of them, you may not get deep enough to get other muscles, other hip flexors, other adductors. So if you're trying to get those muscles, then no, you should not flex the knee. Question 4, is it bad for the knee to be fully flexed? Well, right now I have my knee fully flexed. I'm sitting on my heels, my whole weight is on my heels, and I don't feel anything. So a healthy knee can be flexed completely. In other words, we have the upper part of the leg and the lower part of the leg coming together, and that's fine. If it's a healthy knee, the joint is healthy, you should not have a problem doing that. Question 5, should I stretch my quadriceps when they cramp up? Okay, so you can stretch your quadriceps when they cramp up and they might feel better. You might need certain minerals, you might need certain vitamins, you may need more water, you may need to roll or massage. The main thing that you may need to do. But the question is, if your quadriceps are spasming, is it really quadriceps fault? Because remember, very often it's not the fault of the quadriceps. You're trying to do a kick, for instance, straight up front kick or anything that comes up, it may be that your quadriceps are spasming because the hamstrings are pulling down hard. Get the flexibility in your hamstring, you're not going to have issues with those quads. So yeah, if they're hurting, you want to take care of them, but you also want to find the underlying issue. Question 6. Question 6 is about clarity. Clarity is a kinesiological stretching technique for rectus femoris. So the question is, should we target the hip extension or should we target the knee flexion? Well, most people can do this. So most people are actually looking for hip extension, and usually that is a target. Movement of the knee is a leverage. In other words, this right here, This is the leverage, and this is the target. Okay? So related question to that, what if it doesn't move or it does not move a lot, and I want more progress in my rectus femoris, what do I do? Well, here's the thing. Rectus femoris does multiple things. Yes, it's extend the knee, and that's mostly what it's known for, together with the other quadriceps heads. Flexes the hip, right? One of the 6 hip flexors plus adductors. But here's the interesting thing. It attaches a little bit more to the side. For that reason, it helps in the external rotation. That's number one. And it does abduction, which is from here to here. So if I move my knee down and keep my foot at the same level like that, I'm actually stretching that muscle. And that can be used as a leverage as well. So instead of this as a leverage and this as a target, this becomes a leverage and this becomes a target. Another thing you can do is multiple leverages and then go back, or multiple leverage this way and then go into that target, which is the extension of the hip. I hope this helps. I'm Paul Dajcik. Thank you for watching.